Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I will be showing you the books that I plan to read in July. I never introduce myself by name in my videos anymore. Some of y'all are probably wondering, like, who is this chick? What is her name? Even though my name is in my channel name, but maybe it's a good idea to say it. I don't really go by Maddie that much anymore. I more so go by Madison these days, like my normal name, but on this channel, I am Maddie, so I'm gonna start doing that again. Let's change up the intro. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be showing you the books that I plan to read in July. So July is going to be kind of like a different month for me. I'm still going to be reading, but I'm probably not going to be reading as much as I have been these past few months because I decided that in July, I really want to focus on writing. I have not been actively writing for a very long time. I am, or I used to be at least, a writer as much as I am a reader. It's just that I will hyper focus on things, and my hyperfixation lately has been just on reading. But I will get into little phases where I will hyperfixate on writing as well, and I think I'm ready to start hyperfixating on writing again. It's just kind of unfortunate that I can't like put all of my energy into both. That would be really nice. It's just not really how my brain works. So I'm gonna make writing a goal this coming month. I know that July is also Camp NaNoWriMo, so that is good motivation to start writing again. And because of that, I think what I'm going to do is lower my daily reading count page goal. My normal goal is to read 100 pages a day, and usually I can't do that. But just to make it a little easier on myself, because I do also want to try to write this coming month, I think I'm going to cut that goal in half and make my daily reading page count goal 50. I think that's very doable. So that is my plan. However, that does not mean that I don't still have a lot of books that I am including on this TBR. Of course, I will not be getting to every single one of these books. I'm sure of it, but I'm still going to show a good amount of books that hopefully I will read this month, but no guarantee. Just think of this as not only my July TBR, but my overall summer TBR at this point, because whatever books I don't read in July will just transfer over to my August TBR. So we are going to get into it, and I'm also going to be doing something kind of different. I'm just changing up the order in the way I do my TBR videos. So lately in my TBR videos, I have been including the TBR prompt jar, where I pick a reading prompt that I have written down that's in this jar and apply those prompts to my physical TBR and pick a book based off of that prompt to put on to my TBR. And I usually do this at the end of my TBR videos, but I think I'm going to do it before this time because I also have my set TBR of books that I plan to get to this month, and I'm thinking, since I'm trying not to overwhelm myself with reading this month, I want to start off by picking out a prompt from this jar in case it applies to any of the set books that I am already putting on this TBR. That might be kind of cheating because I already plan to read these books this month, but it'll help so I don't have to add more books potentially onto this TBR and overwhelm myself. So that's what I'm going to do. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. It might be cheating a little bit, but if any of these prompts don't apply to the books I already plan to read this month, then of course I'll still pick a book from my physical TBR that is behind me right here. So we'll just see what prompts come up. So let's go ahead and pick one. So first prompt is a fake dating romance. One of the books on my TBR can apply to this one. See? This was a good idea. Right off the bat, I picked one that can apply to one of these books. Okay, we're off to a good start then. So I know that this book features the fake dating trope. This was a book that was on my TBR for June, but I wasn't able to get to it in June, so it's transferring over to this month, and it applies to this prompt. So that book is Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. I know that this book has the fake dating trope because from what I can remember, it's about these two characters who have to fake date in order to attend this couples camp. So in that case, it's perfect, and I already plan to put this book on my TBR for this month. So I'm really glad I picked that prompt because that makes things so much easier. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. I really wanted to get to it in June, but I just ran out of time, unfortunately. But I will for sure read it in July. Okay, I think I'm gonna pick 3. I forgot to say this, but I think I'm gonna pick 3 prompts in total. I don't know if that's doable, but whatever. If I don't get to one of these, it is what it is. So let's pick a second prompt. Here it is. It's a chunky piece of paper. So this is a long prompt. It says, the last book you mentioned in your latest TBR video that you haven't read. This is a tough one because I feel like I read a lot of the books that were on my June TBR. This prompt could have also applied to this book because I didn't get to it in June, but I already applied it to the last prompt. Let me think. I know Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton was on my TBR for last month, and I didn't get to it. However, I am taking like a hiatus from reading dark romance because it's just a genre that's not working for me right now. So I really want to put that book off. And so I'm not in the mood to read it right now. I'm looking at my June TBR shelf that I have on my Goodreads just to make sure I'm not forgetting any books that I potentially put on my TBR last month that I didn't get to. But no, I've read all of these. I completed pretty much almost my entire June TBR. Read all of them. So, I think we're gonna put this one back because it can't apply. This is a really good prompt. I wish it applied, because I thought it was a really smart one, but it doesn't. So we're gonna pick another one. We'll just wait. That prompt will come up again, and hopefully it applies the next time I draw it. But let's see what else we got. Oh, I accidentally picked 2. We'll go with this one. They were stuck together. Okay, let's see. A small town romance. Okay. Are any of these small town romances? Not that I know of. I don't think so. So we're not going to pick a book that I have planned to read this month. Let's see what's on my shelf back here. Ooh. Okay. I know Things We Never Got Over is a small town romance, and I've been really wanting to read this book, so this one is a contender. I do know that that one is a small town romance. Let's see what else I got. Right off the top of my head, are any of these small town romances? I don't know if Archer's Voice, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that's a small town romance. I feel like I kind of remember that it was described as one, but I'm not quite sure. I might need to look up that book to see if it is, but it might be. I don't think any of these are small town romances. So I might go with Things We Never Got Over, but I would be inclined to pick up Archer's Voice as well, because I've been wanting to get to that book for so long, and I've owned it for so long. It'd be nice to get to it. So I'm going to look that one up and see if it is a small town romance. Yes! Archer's Voice is a small town romance. I looked at the tags on its Goodreads profile, and small town romance is listed. So I do have 2 options here. The question is, which book do I really want to get to? Because I really want to read both of these ones, so this is difficult. Let me pull Archer's Voice out. So here it is. I feel like I should go with the book that I've owned the longest, and that would be this one. But I have been wanting to read this one for so long as well. So I don't know what to do. This is such a hard decision. I think I'm going to go with Archer's Voice. I think I will go with the one that I've owned the longest. So we're going to add this one to my TBR. I really cannot remember what this one is about, but I do know that what I remember hearing about it is that it is highly emotional, and I'm kind of in the mood for reading like an emotional book. I haven't read like a really pull at your heartstrings book in a really long time, so I think this would be a good one. So let's add it on to the TBR, and I will try my best to get to it this month. I really want to read that one. All right, we're gonna pick one more prompt from the jar. Let's see what comes out. A slow burn romance. I am always in the mood for a slow burn. That's why I wrote this one down, because I knew that this is one that I would always want to read. Any of my books on my TBR can apply to this one. I do not know. I don't know if any of these are slow burn romances. Ugh. I'm going to say that none of the books on my TBR is going to apply to this one. So, again, we'll refer to the physical TBR. Although, are any of these slow burn romances? I don't know. This is one that I think I might have to look up on Google to get some ideas. So let's go to Google And I'm gonna search up slow burn romance book recommendations. Okay, the first few books that come up under the slow burn romance shelf on Goodreads are books by Mariana Zapata. I have heard that she is like the queen of slow burn romances, and it's amazing. Incredible that I have not read any of her books yet, with me being one of the biggest fans of slow burn romances. That is insane. And I would love to read one of her books. And I would put one of her books on this TBR because it can apply to this prompt. But the thing is, I know from what I've heard, her books are really, really long. And I feel like since this is a month where I'm not like completely prioritizing reading, it would be a bad idea to put one of her books on this TBR because I know her books are long. Man, as much as her books would be perfect for this prompt, I just can't do it because I know they're long. So unfortunately, we're not going to do that, but I would love to read one of her books one day. So let's see what else is under this. Archer's Voice is on this list as well. I guess it's also a slow burn romance, but I already applied it to a previous prompt. So let's see what else there is. I feel like a lot of the books on this shelf are really old releases, honestly. And I'm not seeing anything that I'm like, oh, I want to read that right now. So The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood is listed as a slow burn romance, and I have been wanting to get to that book. I do own it. I just purchased it like recently, like literally like 2 weeks ago. So I do have the book. It's not on this shelf. It's on my bookshelf in my room. So I could add that one on. It is listed as a slow burn romance. I don't know how much of that is true, but if it's on the list, I guess I'll add it on. So why don't we go with The Love Hypothesis? I think that's a great idea because I've been wanting to get through all of Ali Hazelwood's books. I read one of her books last month in June, so I'm on a roll with reading her books, and that includes her backlist books. So we'll add that one on. So that's it for the TBR jar. Now let's get to some of the books that I plan to read this month already. Let's start off with the book that I'm currently reading, and that is Lover Eternal by J.R. Ward, and this is the second book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I am rereading the first 7 books in this series. This is a series that I have not completed yet, and I'd like to continue on with the series, but I want to reread the entire series since it's been a while since I've read these books, so I'd like to have everything that happened in this world fresh in my mind. So I am rereading the books that I have already read, and Lover Eternal is one of them. I am not far into this at all. I think I'm on page like 20 something, 27. So I just started this last night and did not get very far. As of the time I'm filming this video, it is still June. It is June 28th. I'm filming this video hella early this time, so I may still finish this book in June. I'm not sure, but most likely I will have not, so that's why I'm including it on my July TBR. I love this series. It is so freaking good. If you don't know, it's a series, it's an older series that has to do with vampires. It's a great paranormal romance, and each book focuses on a different character and a different couple. It's so freaking good. And one of the reasons why I'm rereading this series is because this series has a TV adaptation on Passion Flick that just started. There's like 4 episodes out of it right now, and the TV adaptation has been so freaking good. I am so impressed with it. I have been eagerly awaiting a new episode to release every single week. I am loving it so much, and watching the TV adaptation has just been like reigniting my love for this series. Along with that, I plan to also reread the 3rd book in this series this month, and that is Lover Awakened. So if all goes to plan, I will have read 2 books in this series this month. And next I have a new release. This book released in June, and I think I purchased it like shortly after it released. So I've been really keeping up with new releases, which I am so impressed by because that's so unlike me. And so next I have Never Been Shipped by Alicia Thompson. This is an author that I have heard about before by some of my other favorites like book content creators, but I haven't checked out any of her books yet. So I thought it would be a good time to check out her newest release. I will admit that my draw to read this book was the cover. I hate to admit that sometimes a good book cover will grab me and make me want to read the book. I know that's their purpose, but it always kind of feels like I feel shallow for admitting that the packaging of the book is what enticed me to read it. But this cover is so freaking pretty. I love how it has like a pop art style. I think that's so freaking cool. Also, the texture of the cover is so different. I don't know how to explain it, but it has like some sort of like texture, like along where the text is, that feels really unique. Like it feels like a really high quality book for a paperback. I don't know. It just like really drew me in to want to read this book. I think it's so freaking pretty. From what I know of what this one is about, it takes place on a cruise ship, and the main characters are part of a band, and two characters that were in the band used to date but like split up for some reason. And so I think they're forced to be a band together on this cruise ship. So these two are around each other again, and they're like the feelings are reigniting between them again. So this one is a second chance romance, which isn't a favorite trope of mine, interestingly enough, but sometimes I can be into it. I just am someone who more so likes watching a initial romance unfold more than I like rekindling a past relationship. But sometimes I can be in the mood for a second chance romance. Sometimes the trope does like hit with me. So we'll just see if it works for me when I read this book. But either way, I'm looking forward to reading it. I also love reading books that have to do with music, and I know this one does, so it should be good. Next, I'm really happy to say that I have a library book on my TBR, which I don't check out books from my library often, which is a shame, but I just love to buy books, so that's why. But every once in a while, I'll check out a book from my local library, and I hit up my library recently and decided to pick a book out from their catalog. And so that book is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I'm holding it weird because I decided it probably isn't a good idea to show which library is my local library, because I don't want to dox myself. Even though you won't be able to find me just from like the town I live in. But you know what, just in case, the internet is weird, you know, I just want to be safe. So I'm gonna hold it like this. It looks really silly. But anyway, I decided to pick up this book because last month I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to check out more of her books, so I thought this would be a good one to read next. I've heard great things about this one. It is an older book. It is definitely a backlist. When I was first getting into BookTube, this book was mentioned a lot, and a lot of people really loved it, so I really want to check it out. I do know from the basic premise is that it's about these two characters who were friends in college, but one of them turned evil, and so there was a drift that started between them. And I don't know if the other guy is like a superhero or something. I'm not sure, but I know that it's a good guy versus a villain, but they also used to be friends in the past, and that just sounds really interesting. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and hopefully I'll enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, but we'll just see. I do have a few more books on my TBR that I don't physically own that I'm also going to mention, so I may get to these as well. And because I'm trying to like include new monthly releases on my TBR, I researched new releases that were coming out in July, and picked out one that I might be interested in and put it on this TBR. And so that one is Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. All I know about this one is that it is a fantasy. I think it's a romantasy. Yes, it's labeled under romantasy. It also is labeled as Enemies to Lovers, which I always love an Enemies to Lovers book if it's done well. Sometimes Enemies to Lovers is not done well. So we'll see if this one does it well. Also, I don't know for sure if I'll read this book in July or ever, honestly, but I might include it on this TBR anyway, and that is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. And the reason why I'm not sure if I'm going to read this book is because it is apparently a fan fiction, and I think it's a Harry Potter fan fiction. And I am not a Harry Potter person. I never read the books. I watched the first movie and I enjoyed it enough, but I feel like Harry Potter is like, it's too young for me. It's too like middle grade, and I'm not a middle grade person, and so that's why I just never read the books. And I didn't grow up reading the books, so I have no nostalgia towards the series. And so I'm just not like I'm just indifferent to Harry Potter. So because this is a Harry Potter fan fiction, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'm pretty sure the characters' names are changed at least, and so it's not exactly Harry Potter. Um, but I don't know. But the reason why I'm thinking about reading it is because I've heard a lot of people talking about this book. Like, a lot of my favorite content creators are talking about this one and how excited they are for it. And so I just feel left out. So I might at least give it a try and see what I think about it. It might still be good. I think it's like, let's see, it is a romantasy. So that's always good because I love romantasies. And it's also enemies to lovers. It also says it's a slow burn as well. So all tropes I really like. I think I'll still give it a chance at least. If I don't like it, I can always DNF it, but I'll give it a chance. And we'll see if I get to it this month. And 3 more books to mention. I still feel like I'm putting too many books on this TBR. Oh my god. But I have 3 more to mention. And all of which I'm not going to mention what these books are, oddly enough. But anyway, the next book that I plan to get to is my book of the month book. But because I'm filming this video earlier than I usually do, the book of the month books for July have not been announced yet, so I don't know what book my book of the month book is going to be yet. All I know is that I'm for sure going to read it in July. Whatever it is, I'm going to read it in July. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. And the next 2 books that I plan to read in July are both books that are part of my Read It or Unhaul It video. I initially started this project in June, but I have not gotten through all the books that are in my Read It or Unhaul It. I've gotten to 1, but haven't gotten to the other 2 yet. So I'm gonna have to get to those in July for sure. But I'm not gonna mention what those books are yet because I don't want to spoil my Read It or Unhaul It video that is going to be coming out eventually. All I know though, and all I'm gonna mention, is that I will be getting to those 2 books in July. And so there it is, my July TBR. Like I said, for sure, I will not be getting to every single one of these books in July, but of course, as always, I'll try my best to. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you have thought about them and get me pumped up to read them. I would really like to know. Or you can always just comment a hello. I will take a hello. Really just comment anything. I am trying to get back into the algorithm, and I don't think I've been really successful, and comments always help. So if you really did enjoy this video, please, like, even if you just enjoyed it, let me know in the comment because that would really help me out. I would really appreciate it. Or just like this video as well because that also tells the algorithm that this is a video that should be passed around. I am on Instagram if you want to follow me on there. That link will be in the description box. I am technically on TikTok. I am trying to post more videos on there. I've just been struggling with inspiration when it comes to making book talk videos. I need to do more research in order to gain inspiration on what to post on there, but my TikTok does exist if you want to follow it, because I am trying to be more active on there, and that link will also be in the description box below. I'll be back with a new video next week, and hopefully I will see you then. Bye!